Hey guys, Sketch here, and today I'm going to show you how to use Toxin General to defeat the Airforce challenge. And as usual, this will be played in hard difficulty, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to defeat Airforce General in slightly over 4 minutes of playtime. As usual, if you find that you like what you're watching, please go ahead and give this video a like. It really helps this channel out. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit that bell icon so you get notified when I upload more like this. Every sub is going to help this channel out and is greatly appreciated. And with that, let's get into the run. Now, most people who play the Airforce challenge would do what we imagine to be the normal thing, like build up a basic economy, get a whole bunch of quads because this is Airforce General and all, and when all that's ready, just keep building and building quads and cram them up that ramp. But as you might be noticing already, we're going to do something a little different. First up, after we crank these 3 workers out, we're going to go ahead and sell the command center for a little extra cash. Not strictly needed, as we could go ahead and capture the oil derricks on the sides, but it just makes the macro easier and just makes the base organization cleaner to work with. Once the supply center is done, we'll get a couple of workers and then start the arms dealer. And once the workers finish with building all the buildings, we're going to go ahead and send them to gather resources as we won't need them anymore. Next, the base organization itself, we're going to get a total of 3 barracks, and once the supply center comes up, we'll get a single arms dealer. We'll go ahead and get the capture building ability because that's going to be pretty critical later, to say the least. Now for the attack plan, which comes in 2 phases. For those familiar with my Nuke vs Airforce run, link in the card if you haven't seen it already. Airforce General has 3 reactors in the bottom right of his base, and removing 2 of them is enough to power his base down. In addition, his base is entirely defended by Patriots only. So once we power his base down, we will have free reign over his base. So we're going to take full advantage of that in phase 1 by rushing out 2 combat cycles into that corner and capturing the reactors. In phase 2, which we are already preparing rebels for, we will load up 3 technicals full of rebels to capture all his other buildings once his base is powered down. So once the dealer comes up, we will push out 2 combat cycles straight away, queue the technicals up, and a total of 15 rebels. If you're going to try this, remember that the hotkey for capture building is C. So to capture a building, just select the rebel, tap C, and select the building. Repeat until you win. Once the cycles come out, we're going to go ahead and push them up the cliff, past the defenses, and right on top of those reactors. Now, this strategy, although really effective, needs to be executed quickly, as his base basically becomes active after around 3 minutes of playtime. At that point, he will start pushing out Comanches and Rangers, and you need to be all over his base by that time. Now, just a couple of gotchas, because you have to get every building to win, and there are 21 buildings that count towards victory. Some buildings that you can easily miss out on are the supply center, as it's quite far out of the way of the rest of his base, and a couple of reactors flanking his airfield on the top right. Amendment to that original statement, you don't have to capture the supply drop zones though, so that should save you a little effort. Optionally, you could also get a combat cycle rallied on top of his supply center just to capture it, as it can save you having to manage a rebel all the way to that side of the base. But that's up to you. Just a couple of issues you might run into when running this strategy. Your technicals will probably end up auto-firing on the Patriots, which causes his dozers to move in to repair them. Be careful not to let your rebels get run over by the dozers. As Toxin General, you can easily kill the dozers with your rebels, but if you're playing stealth or demo, it will take longer to kill the dozers, so you should simply dodge the dozers if you can. Also, capturing the barracks or strategy center when playing hard mode causes 4 King Raptors to spawn in and wreck some of your stuff. If your strategy is well underway like you should see it now, it shouldn't be an issue, but because they tend to destroy a building in their run, be careful to stop any rebuilds from happening by guard ordering your troops around the affected area. The good news is that if they land on an airfield which you then capture, you capture the Raptors too, which you can use to bomb any buildings you missed out for a faster win. Another good thing about this strategy is that you have a healthy economy on the back of your attack, so in case you lose too many rebels, as long as you have some airfields, you have options. You could build Comanches, you could also build Raptors. I personally prefer to get Raptors, as a single Raptor is usually enough to destroy a reactor that you might have missed. But sometimes the Raptors don't kill the reactor in one go, sometimes a missile well misses, so if that happens, just move a technical in to finish it off. If you're desperate and have his barracks, you can also get Rangers, although I haven't had to rely on that before. Don't bother with missile defenders, they're useless against King Raptors, and if you have to resort to rockets to stop his Comanches, you're probably better off just trying again for a cleaner execution. And that should be it. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.